This can create problems down the line if you don't do it early on. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. My name is Nas.
And I'm Alba, and in this video we're going to share with you the top 10 mistakes that you should avoid when you're moving to Spain.
If you've not watched this channel before, you won't know that a few years ago I moved to Spain, so I know exactly what it feels like to move to this country. And Alba is from here. She was born and raised in Madrid.
We're actually in Madrid, so while we stroll the streets, we are going to share with you the top 10 mistakes you cannot do when you're moving. So let's go! It's early in the morning, so we had to come to a terrace to have our little breakfast with a coffee. To tell you about point number one, the first mistake to avoid is to come to Spain without a proper plan. Now, there's a lot of people who book their flights, just come here, they know there's a lot of visa options, or maybe they're European citizens and they think they don't need to do anything. There's actually so much that you need to plan in advance. If you're a European citizen, you will need to get your NIE, and for that you need to book an appointment in advance, and sometimes there's no appointments for months, and you need to do that within the first 3 months of arriving. We have a whole video about that, so go check it out. If you're not a European citizen and you're planning on getting your visa, yes, there are some visas that you can get while you are here, like for example your digital nomad visa, but there might be documents that you need to get from your home country. There is so much that you need to take into account when you travel into the country. Please don't make the mistake of not planning any of this ahead. Bread with olive oil and tomato is like a must in Madrid for breakfast, and it's actually so delicious. Like even Nas, who doesn't like tomato, eats this though.
Oh my god, this is so good. It never disappoints, never.
If you also don't know where in Spain you want to live and you're thinking of exploring that within your first few months in the country, I actually recommend that you do that in a separate trip before you move, because a lot of the paperwork that you're gonna have to do, you will do in the city that you're going to live in. So when you travel to move here, you should already be in the city where you're going to register.
Mistake number 2 to avoid, not have long-term accommodation for a while. So a lot of people come here and they just get short-term accommodation, then short-term accommodation, but this is a mistake. Why? Because you will need a long-term address for a lot of your paperwork in Spain, like the NIE, the taxes, and others. And if you don't get a long-term address, it will cause you problems later down the line. And you will also not be able to get your padrón done, which is super important. You will need it for like healthcare, for example. And if you're getting confused with all these terms, make sure to check out Matutto.com, which is our startup, and we help people move to Spain, among other countries. But hey, go there, sign up for free, and you will have access to all of this information and what all these things mean.
The third mistake to avoid is coming without a healthcare option prepared. Depending on whether you're a European citizen or not and the reason to why you're moving to Spain, you will or you will not have the right to public healthcare in Spain. If you don't, you will need private health insurance. So make sure that's something that you plan ahead, because you don't want to be stuck here without coverage.
Number 4, not registering for Clave. Now, I know this is a pain. I avoided doing this myself a while back. But if you don't register for Clave, you won't be able to access your taxes online, you won't be able to submit them, and there's a bunch of government-related forms that you can only submit if you have Clave. And we've had so many expats reach out to us after years of living in Spain for help with their Clave. This can create problems down the line if you don't do it early on. So don't worry, again, go to Matutto.com. There's a step-by-step guide translated to English on how to get your Clave.
Breakfast is done.
But that takes us to point number 5, which is learning the basics of Spanish, especially for expats like me and probably you. You'll recognize that when you move to Spain, a lot of people don't actually speak English. So learn at the very least the basics of Spanish.
Yeah.
Adios.
Mistake number 6, moving to Spain in the summer. If you are coming to one of the cities or towns that has a lot of tourism during the summer, I recommend you don't move during that time period because one, the city is so busy and it's not pleasant, and two, it is so hard to find a long-term apartment. Barcelona right now is really struggling with having offer for long-term apartments in the summer because landlords just want to rent short-term and the prices are astronomical because there's more expats, more nomads, more tourists during this time of the year.
Number 7, don't ignore your taxes until it's too late. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something! Taxes in Spain have different brackets than in your home country. It is a progressive system. I recommend you to check the link in the description. This is what it looks like, so you can calculate how much taxes you will have to pay based on your salary. The second thing is deadlines. Your employer will be responsible for deducting tax on your behalf. Now, the amount can or may not be correct at the end of the year, depending on when you joined, if your salary changed over time. So you have to make sure that at the end of the year, when you report your taxes, you are ready to either pay whatever's outstanding to the government or to receive some money back. That's actually happened to me before, where I got just under 100 euros back from the government, which was very nice.
That brings us to the mistake number 8, which is missing your Beckham's Law deadline. If you don't know what Beckham's Law is, in summary, it's a tax exemption for expats who've just moved to Spain and they get to pay a flat rate of 24%. But you can only apply for it in the first 6 months of living in Spain. Some people only find out about this later on, and unfortunately if you've lived here for more than 6 months you cannot apply for it. So if you are interested, make sure to apply early. You can find all the details about how to do it on matutto.com. We even have a calculator that tells you if it would be worth it for you to apply for it, because depending on how much you earn, it might or it might not be worth it, so make sure to check it out. It's getting closer to midday, and that's the hottest hour in Spain, so a bit too hot for my taste, and we're gonna finish up the last 3 points at home.
Number 9, understand your cost of living. Especially in the last few years, Spain has become a much more expensive country to live in. Now, a few years ago, you wouldn't think about this, but now you have to. So what I recommend you to do is to check out this cost of living calculator. Based on your preferences and on your lifestyle as well, this calculator will spit out a number broken down in categories of how much money you will approximately need to live in Spain. Historically, this has been a fairly affordable country. That's why so many digital nomads and expats have chosen Spain in the past. But it's not quite the same nowadays, so make sure to check it out, plan ahead, and understand your cost of living before you even move to Spain.
And the last mistake you need to avoid is not signing up to Matutto.com. You can find all the information that you need for your move on there. You can create an account for free and upgrade if you want to access step-by-step guides on how to fill in your paperwork, understand what are all the bureaucracy stuff that you're gonna have to do. It's so easy to do, and you can be sure that you're doing the right things every step of the way. So what are you waiting for? Sign up! By the way, if you do upgrade, you get to have 1 call per month with one of us, either Nas or I, and we will be advising you and guiding you throughout the process of moving to Spain. Make sure to leave a comment if there's any specific questions that you guys have on moving to Spain, and we'll be happy to answer those. But that's gonna be everything for this video. We hope that you guys enjoyed.
Make sure to give a like, a comment, sign up to Matutto, and what
Subscribe!
else? Subscribe! Yes!
Subscribe, because we do have more content coming up about Spain in general. We're going to some beautiful destinations, and we'll always be uploading tips for moving here.
So thank you so much for watching,
And we'll see you in our next video.